Hello! Christ, it's been a while. I hope you're all okay and all good. Welcome to another video, or a video, in fact. My name is George. For those of you who don't know, feel free to subscribe down below if you're not already. If you're finding this video, if the YouTube algorithm hasn't buried me. But here she is, boys. Here she is, world. Back with a video. I have not sat in front of these shelves to make a video in a very, very long time, to the point where I'm actually feeling really nervous. My heart rate is quite high right now. It's been a long time. I've not made a video since about March time, even though I've had the best intentions of doing so. A lot of stuff has got in the way. Maybe I should open with that. So, obviously started the year with all the positivity in the world, with the best intentions to like keep this channel updated and keep talking to you all. But in April, in the first part of this year, I had zero money because of all the lockdowns and because of lots of other reasons, such as the lack of a job and everything being closed. And then I started working at Primark in evenings while trying to figure out writing stuff. And then I've had auditions and I've had drag and I've had all sorts of things going on, all of which have combined into a multitude of excuses that just means that whenever it's come to a point where when I've thought about making a video, I've always found a million reasons to not to. But here I am, sitting down, making a video. I posted a thing on my Instagram, which you can follow if you want to, at the George Lester, asking for questions from people, for things to talk about today, to kind of ease myself back into it so I'm not just sitting here trying to figure it out. So I'm just going to dive into some questions. If you have any more, leave them below and maybe I'll do another one of these videos at some point. My plan going forward is to start doing writing vlogs again, and also to start doing book hauls and stuff. I've not done a book haul in 2021, so there's loads of books above me that, ooh, a little bit of sunlight. Ooh. So there's loads of books above me that I've not hauled yet or talked about on this channel, despite me either purchasing them or lovely publishers sending them over to me. So there's that. There was a point when I started trying to make studio vlogs where I was doing a whole month of what I was doing. I did one of those in August, and then just never uploaded it because it was taking an age to edit, and then it got to the middle of September and it was what's the point in uploading this now? It's nearly the end of September. And then my life fell apart a little bit in various different ways. A lot of stuff has happened in the last 7 months. Maybe I'll get into in some of these questions, who even knows? So we're going to start with an easy one, which is, how are you? I'm okay. Life has been weird. It's been very up and down, very emotional. I've been doing a drag competition recently, which has been taking up a lot of time because it's different challenges week on week. I've been working a lot at Primark, although I am leaving in a week and a half, because at time of recording, actually no, at time of recording it's a week. Oh my god, I leave next Friday, because I'm starting Panto. I'm in a Panto this Christmas, which is very, very exciting. I'm the Panto Dame, which is very, very exciting. Never done that before. But yeah, I'm well. I'm tired because drag is tiring, and trying to do a drag competition, which is making a new number every week and kind of figuring out costume and hair and all of that fun stuff, and working weekday evenings and trying to write things and trying to do my editorial work as well. It's all just been a lot, which is why this has taken a back seat, but I'm trying to get back into it because I've missed it. So hi. Next question. Who would play Robin Cooper in the live action movie? For those of you who don't know, or if you've never been on this channel before and you've just stumbled across this video, hello. I wrote this, which is, oh my god, Boy Queen, which is my debut YA novel. It came out in August 2020. It is the story of a teenage boy who wants to be a drag queen. It is RuPaul's Drag Race meets Dumpling by Julie Murphy by way of Gilmore Girls. If that sounds like your thing, it is still available for purchase. Praise the Lord. I have, of course, thought, I feel like every author must do this. You think about what the live action adaptation of your work would look like. I don't know who would play Robin Cooper in the film. I feel like in my brain, I would want it to be someone new, an unknown actor. That's what I would want. The drag artists that feature in the book, I would love them to be played by drag artists. That's very important to me. There's not a film happening, by the way. The rights have not been sold for that film, or TV series or whatever. This is all my brain. But I would want the drag artists to be played by drag artists. But Robin, I would love to be played by an unknown. I think that would be really fun. So which of your book covers is your favourite so far? So Boy Queen has been translated into German and looks like this, and has also been translated into French and looks like this. I love them all for very, very different reasons. I honestly, when I had this cover come through, the UK cover, I was so thrilled and I think it's so beautiful. And then I had this one come through and I was thrilled by that, and the French one come through and I was thrilled by that. I love them all for different reasons. I think at the moment, the French one is my favourite, but I think that's just because it's the newest one. I just think it looks really lovely in that blue colour. I love the wig that the character on the front is wearing. I love that there's stubble there. Like, I love that sort of, it's sort of like an edgier little bit of drag. But I also love this one for like the rainbowiness of it and the fact that it's so different from this one and so different from the French one as well. I love that each territory has like kind of given it its own spin and given like a different interpretation. Like, that's been really cool for me to see. That really doesn't answer the question because I love them all, but my favourite at the moment is the French one because that is the most recent one. But I hope it gets sold into more languages. I would love to see like more versions of that cover. Like, when I used to work in publishing, that was my favourite thing to kind of, I was the one who used to send the foreign editions out to publishers, not to publishers, to authors. So I got to see all these different iterations of these same books. And I just find that really fascinating. What things have you learned / been thinking about creatively lately? I've been through a lot of rejection recently. No one has asked about book 2, which is something that I think is a blessing because at the moment there is no book 2 on the horizon. I have spent a year working on ideas and going back and forth with my current publisher, or Pat Macmillan, talking about new ideas, talking about what I'm going to do next, and kind of writing sample after sample after sample and like plot outlines and stuff, and trying to find something that would fit. And ultimately it's reached a point where they've kind of said no to the most recent idea, and because of that it's sort of, we've sort of drawn a line under it. And so, not that my working relationship with Macmillan is over, like I hope that it isn't, but just the sense that we're no longer going to be like workshopping ideas or me kind of like writing stuff and sending it directly to them. It's going to be the next thing I write is going to be a full thing instead of a sample, and it's probably going to go out to everybody. And I think the thing that I've struggled most with recently is figuring out what the hell it is I want to write next, because I have spent the last year trying to write what I think a publisher wants, and that's just not how it works. Because like, while it's fine and I was happy to do that, and I was kind of coming up with things and like workshopping stuff and kind of sending it and getting feedback and all of that fun stuff, I was trying to write the kind of book that I thought they would want, and what I should have been writing was the book that I wanted to write. When Boy Queen came about, my then editor Rachel Petty came to me and said, I want a book about a teenage boy who wants to be a drag queen and I think you should write it. And I wrote my version of that book, and it probably wasn't the kind of book that she thought it was going to be, but it was the kind of version of that book that I wanted to write. And I think finding that joy in what you're doing and finding that joy in what you are doing and finding what it is that you want to do, you need to find your want to do it rather than thinking about what someone else wants it to be. When I apply this to my this drag competition I've been doing recently, we're given a directive each week, so long as we get through, and you come up with an idea and you make the idea in a week and you perform it. And I am making things that I want to make. I'm not thinking about how is this going to go over with the judges? Is this what they want me to do? I am making something that I want to make, and I think I'm doing okay. I won last week. I think it's coming across that what I'm making is stuff that gives me joy. And I think that is what you need to do when it comes to your writing. So I think that's something that I've learned recently, is that I need to write for me. And I think that's why I've struggled with figuring out what I'm doing next and what I'm going to do, because I've written like four samples and 5 outlines, because one of them was an outline for Boy Queen 2, in the past year that they've kind of looked at and read and like decided like against or not wanting to do for one reason or another. So I have like a backlog of like things that I really want to write, and these are all things that I really want to write, and it's kind of deciding what that's going to be and what I want it to be and what my writing career looks like for me. So yeah. So if anyone was wondering about book 2, which I don't think anyone was because no one asked, I don't know when there will be a book 2 either. I hope that there will be one day, but I am currently out of contract with no new deal on the horizon. So we're back to, not square one because I've had a book out, but we're back to like figuring out what the next step is. So there's probably going to be writing vlogs again at some point. So if you enjoyed those and we're here for those. I mean, I say I don't know what I want to write next, but like I was having a chat with my agent earlier on this week and we have figured out what it's going to be. So it is one of the things that was submitted previously and something that I really, really enjoyed working on. And so I'm kind of excited that, like, I sent him a couple of ideas I was like, these are the 2 that I'm most interested in continuing. And after I sent that, I was like, actually, it's just that first one that I really want to do. And he came back and said, that first one, do that first one. So I'm going to start working on that probably today. And you know, it's only the 5th of November. We can still do NaNoWriMo, right? That was a long rambly answer to that question, and I can only apologise that it went off on so many tangents. What is it like to see your book getting translations? I'm in college for translation and I love your work. Thank you so much. It is amazing seeing my work in translation. It honestly blows my mind. The amount of work that the German publisher, which is One, put into publishing Boy Queen, as in all his colours as it was in German, blew my mind. They were so passionate, they were so into it, and they just absolutely went hell for leather on it. Like they asked me to make things for them and do stuff, and I was more than happy to do it. The French publisher didn't want me to do stuff for them, which again is absolutely fine. Like they're doing what works for their market, and that's totally their prerogative. But I loved what they were doing for it, and it came out like a year after Boy Queen came out, so it's like it's breathed like a second life into the book for me, because the book came out, Boy Queen originally came out in the summer after the lockdown, so I didn't get to do all like the fun events and stuff. I still got to do a lovely launch at Gaze the Word. I did an Edinburgh Book Festival thing online, but I was meant to go to Edinburgh. Yalk was cancelled. Like any events that I could have done, the big fancy book launch that I wanted to do, I've never had a book launch, which is still really sad to me. The big fancy book launch that I wanted to do obviously never happened. So it's kind of nice to get that second life in translation. And it's the same when the French one came out at the tail end of last month. Plot twist. I think I was definitely told the date it was coming out, and I definitely forgot. So I was getting tagged in things, and I was like, oh, my book came out in French today, which is so bad. Like I told you, I've been busy. But getting tagged in new things, new readers finding it in different countries, it's just been absolutely amazing, and it's so cool. It's so cool. So yeah, it's been really fun. This is a Disney-ish question. If this can be about anything, George, do you have any plans to go back to Orlando soon? For any of you who've been here for a while, or who came here for this, because I know there's some people who, actually there's a lot of people that are probably subscribed to me because of the Disney vlogs. My partner Jordan and I went to Walt Disney World in November 2019, and we vlogged the whole thing. They're all still up on the channel if you want to go and watch them. We had a great time. It's a really lovely set of videos, I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed editing them and making them. It was great fun. We have no plans to go back to Orlando anytime soon because money, time, we're still kind of in a pandemic, even though governments likes to pretend that we're not, so it's not really the moment. I know there's some people that are, and that's completely like up to them if they want to do that. For us, it's not happening just now. We do have a different trip planned for March next year, which is a little bit closer to home, but it's full of Disney magic, and there will be vlogs for that, hopefully, if we remember. But that is happening next year, so there will be some Disney vlogish content in the new year. Another one, which is when are you going to Disney again? I need more vlogs. And yeah, so March. There will be Disney vlogs in March. From Paris. Why am I acting like there needs to be some kind of trip announcement? Like, we're going to Disneyland Paris in March next year. we're very bloody excited for it. Can't wait. Like, it's going to be so much fun. So we're doing 4 days in Disneyland Paris, and then we're doing a couple of days in central Paris to kind of like experience some of Paris that's not Disney. And yeah, it's going to be really, really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just excited to have a holiday. And the last question that I have is favourite Pokemon of all time. For those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, first of all, rude. Second of all, I recently indulged and bought myself a Nintendo Switch with Pokemon Shield. Did I buy Shield or Sword? I think I bought Shield. So like I've had like Pokemon things like in my Instagram DMs, and I've been like indulging in Pokemon again, which has just been amazing. Like I've been a fan of Pokemon pretty much since I was a child. I've played every generation of Pokemon except Pearl, like Diamond, Pearl and Platinum. I missed that one, I think, because that was when I think I didn't have, was it a DS or a 3DS? Whichever one it was, I didn't have it at the time that got released, and didn't buy one, and then kind of dove back in and had a DS and then a 3DS, and now we're on a Switch. But my favourite Pokemon of all time, I feel like this might be a little bit of an out of left field answer, but I was thinking about this while I was making my breakfast because this question came in and I thought, my instinct was like a really obvious one, and then I remembered that the Pokemon that I always look for in basically every game that I play is Mareep, because one of my favourite Pokemon of all time is Ampharos, to the point where my little brother, because he's wonderful, for Christmas, got like a picture made of me as a Pokemon trainer wearing an Ampharos jumper with an Espeon. I also love Espeon. But in a Ampharos jumper, like Ampharos is a big old fave of mine. So I would say Ampharos. Yeah, absolutely. Just a really good Pokemon, I think. I'm a big fan of electric types, which I think is a really basic choice. So I've always loved Pikachu, obviously, Ampharos. In Pokemon Shield, I've just called an Electrike because I want a Magnetrike when it evolves and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, maybe there should be Pokemon content on this channel. Should I make gaming videos? Probably not. Let's be real, I can barely keep up with the current videos that I make. And there's one more question, which is, did you sing live at the end of your Fab performance? Sounded like it. So I posted a performance recently on my Instagram. I don't know when this video is going up, but I posted a video recently on my Instagram of me doing a mix of Rose's Turn from the musical Gypsy, which went through Bernadette Peters, Ethel Merman, Bette Midler, Angela Lansbury, Imelda Staunton, Patti LuPone, and then I sang the end of it. So this is Ian, and he was asking if I sang the end of it, and I did sing the end of it. It is one of my favourite songs in the whole world. And yes, I sang the end of it. So yes, she's a singer too. She's jack of all trades, master of none. But those are all the questions that I have. Like I said, if there are any other questions that you have for me, feel free to leave them below, and maybe there should be a regular or a semi-regular segment on this channel where I answer any and all questions that you have for me. But that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to put a thumb on it and subscribe down below if you want to see more. I'm hoping to be back on the uploading train so I can actually like start getting used to making content again, because I fell out of step with it for a multitude of reasons, like partly getting busy, partly because I didn't feel like I had anything left to say, partly because I was struggling so much creatively because of all the lockdowns and because of money and all of that stuff. So while some of those worries are still there, we're coming back creatively, and I think doing this drag competition has helped that, and I think finally deciding what it is that I'm going to write next has also helped that. So there will be writing vlogs in the future, maybe NaNoWriMo, who's to say? It's only the 5th of November. Anyway, as I've already said, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit a thumb and subscribe down below. If you want to see more, feel free to leave questions below. And yeah, I love each and every one of your faces, and I will speak to you as soon as I possibly can, which will hopefully not be in another 7 months' time. Goodbye to you. Goodbye. Have you missed it? Oh, do you know what else you should leave down below? If you made it this far in the video, leave a dinosaur emoji. I've just seen my little dinosaur salt and pepper shakers that my friend Sam got me. So leave those below. Yeah, that's the end. Bye.